So our team name is Jet. My name is Tuvel Dolaria. We have built the website for the WinFarm Power Prediction. We have mainly three services. One is login sign up, another is WinFarm Power Prediction, and third is WinFarm Economics Calculator. In WinFarm Power Prediction, we have two parts. One is for general prediction and another is for prediction for specific data. In general prediction, we gather the data from different sources and train the general model and gave the prediction from that model. So in general prediction, we have another two part. Like one is for selected WinFarm, other is other than selected WinFarm. In future, we have thousands plus WinFarm in our database. So user can select any WinFarm from database and get the prediction for next 48 hours. If user WinFarm is not in our list, user at the login time, user can select any WinFarm in the world from our from maps, and we and provide the turbine capacity is WinFarm, and we can give the next 48 hours power prediction. Again, this come from the general model. If user want to predict the model for users data, if users provides the data for his or hers WinFarm's turbine, then we can predict the data, we can predict the model for user and save it for later use. If user next time comes, we give the prediction from that model. And in WinFarm Economics Calculator service, if anyone wants to set up the WinFarm, one can visit this page. So now let's start with sign up service. So we have two, like user can sign up through classic sign up, or user can sign up through many social services like Google, Twitter, or Facebook. So let's start. We also handle the many exceptions. So at the first time when user come, we redirect to the map page in which user have to select the his or her WinFarm. Like if my WinFarm is in the Tehachapi area, I can select the from the map. Here we can see the like there is no information. If I select the Tehachapi, we can see that it gets the data like latitude and longitude and all the data, and we provide the wind turbine capacity here for our WinFarm. So here is the user home page. Now we will see the login survey through social account. Now I will log in through my Google account. I will log in through. So again, this user will redirect to the get the like the provide the WinFarm name. Here again I select the WinFarm name and provide the wind turbine capacity. Here is the user homepage. Now we will see the API part. Like at the first time when user login, user can get the API key which is used for the API calling. Here is the API documentation. So we have basically have the mainly three table in our database. Apart from there are many tables, but which is used for the authentication purpose and which is created by the OAuth library. So here is the first table is WinFarm, in which we store the data related to WinFarm like its capacity, number of turbines, latitude, longitude, all that data. Apart from that, we have two tables for the users, in which one is for users and other is for custom fields of that user like user's WinFarm name and capacity on all that. Now API, we have mainly 5 API calls, 3 for authenticated and non-authenticated user and 2 are for only authenticated user. So here is the first API call, which is for in which user have to provide only the WinFarm name, which is in our database, and user get the next 48 hours prediction. Here is the format for that API, and if user provide the WinFarm name, user can get the prediction. Here is the function for that API call. Here we can see that permission class is allow any, means authenticated or non-authenticated, both user can get call this API. So from our database we can get the like object of that WinFarm and provide the latitude, longitude and capacity, wind turbine capacity to the get prediction function. Here is the get prediction function in which first we call the like weather API through and provide the latitude, longitude to that API and get the get the data like about weather data like wind speed and all that, and then we store that wind speed and provide that wind speed data in the our train model, and we can get the prediction for next 48 hours, and they provide that data into here, and here we rearrange the all data and provide the API response. Here we can see the API response like next 48 hours wind farm power prediction. Now this API call is for if user want any power prediction for any specific hour, then after inform them, user can provide the hour value, and we can here we can see if user provide 5, we can give the only for that hour. Now next two API is for authenticated user. For that we use the token authentication. Here is the function for that. Here we can see that like permission classes is authenticated, means only authenticated user can allow to call this API, and for that authentication we use the token authentication. User can get the API key at the login sign up. Like from here we can provide the data to the get prediction function like latitude, longitude and all that, and from that function we can get the next 48 hours prediction, and then we rearrange all the data and provide the API response. Here is the Python function for call the this API call, in which for we have to provide the like headers part like in this format, authorization token and token API, and we can get the next 48 hours power prediction. Here we can see the API response for that. Apart from the farm name and latitude, longitude, all that, and another API is for if user provide also along with API user provide the hour value, we can give the wind power prediction for that specific hours. Like here is the value is 5, so we here is the only for fifth hour wind farm power prediction. This API call is for wind farm economics calculator, in which user have to provide the 6 different values, and user can get the 9 different values related to wind farm economics calculator. Here is the function for that. For here is the function for that API call. Here we get the 6 different value and provide these 6 different value in economics calci function, and here we calculate the 9 different values related to like wind farm and provide here, and then we check the like all the details like this in the range or not, and then provide the response, and here we can see the response. Now this all wind farm is in our database. We have thousands plus wind farm in our database. Here we can see the different wind farm names, its capacity, its latitude, longitude and number of turbines. User can select any wind farm from this database and get the next 48 hours prediction. So now my friend Chittal will explain further.
Thanks, Dhruval. So now, as you can see, the URL, we have hosted this website on Amazon EC2. So you can reach out to this website by this URL. So now you can see how beautiful this front end is, and we have a navbar which contains a link to home dashboard, setup inform, contact us, and the user profile page. And so this is what we do. We forecast power, and we have implemented an LSTM model to predict the wind power using wind speed, and the wind farm which we use are already there in database, and if they are not in database, then a user can select them from maps. And we also have REST API support, which Dhruv already explained. So I'll quickly go to the dashboard part now. So this is the dashboard page, and there are two options. You can choose a wind farm which already exists in our database, or you can select a wind farm manually from the map. So first I'll go through the wind farm which is already there in database. So there are many wind farms. I'll take a wind farm which is there in India. So I'll click the Mupaddal Tamil Nadu one, and let's go. Yeah, so we can say this is the Mupandal wind farm, and the map is there along with it. And these are the wind turbine power predictions for it. As you can see, they are for 48 hours, which is the x-axis, and the y-axis is the power prediction. And we also have a bar plot and some insights, some statistical insights for the 48-hour prediction. We also display the wind speed for that particular 48 hours. the y-axis is the wind speed, and also bar plot and the insights, the statistical insights are there. And there is also windrose chart, which states the wind speed frequency in the corresponding directions in those 48 hours. So this is a kind of dashboard which we have. And now I'll demonstrate a wind farm which we can manually select from map. So this is a map, and probably I'll go to dashboard, home, and yeah. If I give my location, suppose I have a wind farm near Vadodara and I want to get the wind power predictions, then you can see the marker is already placed in the map. Now I'll have to enter the capacity. Suppose it's 20 megawatts and it's the option field. So I'll go with it, and yeah. So as you can see, this is the Vadodara, and there is a map, and we also have the dashboard. So this is the line plot, bar plot, and insight, which I already discussed. Again, the wind speed and the wind speed frequency windrose chart. So this is how a dashboard is. User can select anything like from database and from map also. Now I'll move to the user profile page part. So, as Dhruval demonstrated earlier, the user can select his own wind farm when he registers. So, I selected this Arnold wind farm, which is in US. And so, the thing is, we can also change the wind farm. Suppose we selected a wrong wind farm, then we can change the wind farm. So, as you can see, this is the change wind farm page, which you have already gone through. I'm not changing the wind farm. And using this WinFarm's location, we can also directly go to the dashboard by clicking this button. And we also have this thing for use personal model. So we can also train our own model basically by the data which we collected in our wind farm. So I already have a model trained, so I can delete this model. So the model is gone and the button is gone as well. Now I can train the model. So this is the model training page. There are some instruction on how the trained data should be, and there is also sample input file. So let me select a file. So this is a file is already there, sample input to model. And suppose the capacity of my wind farm is 20 megawatt, then I can train the model. So the model training is in progress, as you can see, and we are using TensorFlow in backend, which is training the model. And after the model gets trained, it is stored in our database. And so you can see training successful. Now head to the accounts page. So let's go to accounts page, and yeah, this is the entry. We can see it is trained, and now the button is also there for prediction. We can go to the dashboard by clicking this button, and I demonstrated earlier how this works. What is the dashboard? So I'm not going through this again. And this was it for the training model part and dashboard part. And now Millie will explain the wind farm economics calculator and other stuff ahead.
Can I share my screen?
Okay.
So yeah, thank you, Chital. I need to turn on the video, right?
ચિતલ ઓલી જ URL મોકલને Amazon વાળી.
It's fine, like it's okay, like both are similar. This is by IP address, it's okay. Like.
સારું.
Okay, so I start now. So thank you, Chetal. So I'm gonna describe the setup, how to set up one ounce wind farm. So this page is like mainly distributed in two parts. One is the documentation, and another one is the calculator. So first, the documentation describe how one can set their own this wind farm. So it is mainly basis on the which factors calculators is gonna include in order to calculate the overall economics for setting up any wind farm. So the input elements would be the fixed charge rate, investment capital, and capacity, and other factors, and revenue per kilowatt per hour, and another parts which are described over here. And these are some calculated elements which basically provides formulas for different functions which calculator will be using, and which are documented over here in documentation part. And now I'm gonna move on calculator. So yeah, so as you can see, we can these are the different factors which we gonna use for calculation for any economy of any wind farm. So the we can change the values from here manually, and or by the scrolling in here. And as we can see, the values are changing. So this is how these two are interconnected, and which is like the most important and significant part of this UI. And the whatever values we set over here, and these are the production and LCR and all the values according to the economics will be generated for any wind farm according to the values we provide over here. So this is basically how one can set up any wind farm and guess the economy and predict the results. Now I'm gonna move on the contact us part. So for this page, the main thing is I can say is this image over here, which is also a generated image, which can, you know, add the external elegance to this page. And yeah, so this in this page we basically like want oral suggestions and how we can improve ourselves. So we have provided the mailers option over here, and one can mail regarding any suggestion or any, you know, prediction or related to any issues they're facing to us anytime by clicking on this picture. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you can stop sharing your screen. I'll quickly skim through the core part of the dashboard and the model training. So as you can see, this is the views file. So first we had WinFarm from database. So from the front end, we'll get the WinFarm details. And if the user is authenticated, then we can get his own farm detail as well. And then we are making a API call to open weather map to get the weather predictions for the next 48 hours. Then we are doing some pre-processing stuff to convert it in a form which we can feed to the model. And then we are loading the model, and then we are predicting the wind power. And yeah, if the user is selecting his own custom model, then we are using his model, is which we can get by his API. And then we are using this we are generating the static maps by MapQuest API. And then we are rendering the page. The difference between the manual and the WinFarm from database is, in the manual we are doing some stuff on the front end part, basically in the JavaScript part, to fetch the latitude and longitude and store it yeah, and the rest of the things are same between the both of those things. And if I move to the model train part, then yeah. So for training, we are getting the file from this upload file form, and we are processing the file, and then we are basically passing everything to this train model instance, and then we are training the model here. And so after the model gets trained, if it's a success, then we store the model, we save the model, and we display the message like it was successful. And if it's not successful, then we display it's not it was unsuccessful, and act accordingly. Yeah, and this is an endpoint for delete model. And if I move to the specific model training part, then yeah, some data pre-processing part before giving it to the model, then model.fit, and then we are saving the model locally. And during predict, yeah, we are just predicting and returning the predictions. So this is how the dashboard whole thing and the prediction thing work. So this is basically the code in the views part, which is the heart of the application. So yeah, I guess this was all for the application part. This is the whole application which we have built. So thank you.